are for my day ones. For people who are new, y'all are not going to understand. I'm sorry. But for my day ones, y'all are going to know. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the day ones. Before we get into this update video today, you guys go ahead and like the video, comment down below, and if you are new, smash the subscribe button to take flight with us.
Fake love, I don't need it, you can keep it, that's a fact. I had to make up my mind. I took that weight on my shoulders. I done been down.
And this video is hard to start off, you guys. Like, I had to do my intro like 20 times, so that's why I'm smiling and everything, because after a while it becomes funny. Like, girl, you can't even do this simple 12-second intro. Like, come on, get it together. So I just want to make sure that y'all can hear me, and if y'all can hear me, type down in the comments day one, I can hear you, or I can hear you day one, or just let me know that you can hear me, because that's been an issue when I make videos on my computer versus when I do them on my phone. People say, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. But this is like how I really talk in real life. And my videos is like amplified because it's entertainment. And so, yeah, so y'all might have like a shift in audio when y'all go from my entertainment channel over here to my family channel. And so before I even like begin to tell y'all the reason why I'm here, I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Like, everybody know that I interact with y'all in the comments. Like, I like y'all comments. I be hearting them. Sometimes I pin them. Whoever happens to have their post notifications on, which is that little bell down there by the subscribe button or whatever, whoever happens to have their post notifications on will be the first to comment. And you know, I make sure that I reply to all comments, but I always make sure that I reply to the first person who commented, because I mean, I love y'all. So like, I love when y'all take time out y'all day to leave a comment down below, because it really makes me feel special. So yeah, I just wanted to put that little disclaimer in there. Another disclaimer I wanted to add is the reason that my hair is like this is because I plan on like playing with it while I'm talking to y'all, because this is going to be like a nerve-wracking situation for me to talk about. And I mean, also, if it's hard for y'all to hear about death and like dying and everything, like maybe y'all shouldn't watch this video, because that's kind of like what the topic is about. I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. I ain't gonna do no crying. I already got my rat tail comb ready to play with my hair. What I wanted to come and talk to y'all about today was basically, you know, I had came here not too long ago and I talked to y'all about disengaging from my mom. I'm not really giving her leeway to like be destructive in my life anymore. And I've been really doing great with that. Like, I haven't had no contact with her, y'all, since the last video. I haven't, the only time I reached out to her was this past weekend. Was one of her weekends to see my daughter and whatnot. I actually had to take my daughter to the doctor on Friday, October 1st. So when I had took her to this appointment, y'all, this appointment was for her cardiologist, which is for her heart. And for the people who've been here since day one, y'all know that when my daughter was like younger and everything, when she was a baby and when she was a toddler, she had 2 different heart surgeries. So this cardiology appointment was really important to me because it's about, you know, her heart, which keeps her body going. And I want to keep my baby here with me, so that's important. So, you know, ever since I've had my daughter, y'all know that I've made it a point to take her to each and every provider that she was seeing when she was in my custody and my care before I lost custody to my mom. Last weekend was my mom's weekend for my daughter to go over there, but that was the weekend that we had took her to the cardiologist and she had to wear that monitor. And we ended up taking her to the police station at the time that we were supposed to, but my mom did not show up. She sent my cousin, who doesn't have a driver's license, who's mentally unstable and has documentation through the state of Texas that he is suicidal. And she sent this person to pick up my daughter from the police station, and it was during the time where I had to tell her how to replace the heart monitor, you know, because it was like on a sticky surface on my daughter's skin, but it could like roll at any time and like loosen and kind of fall off. And they gave you extra sticky things to like replace the device, and like the nurse had showed me how to replace it. So I was going to show my mom once we got to the police station and whatnot, and she didn't show up. And so there was no way that I could like relay that type of information through my 21-year-old cousin who has all these mental issues going on, and the only thing he's really worried about is asking my husband if he can have a cigarette. Like, oh no, I'm not sending my baby with you. No sir, no sir. And I'll call my own mama and tell her why I'm not doing it. So I called her and I left her a voicemail because she didn't answer, and then I emailed her and I tagged my lawyer in it so that he could see it as well, because ain't nobody got time for that. She can go next weekend, which is this weekend coming up, is when she can go see her granny. But yeah, I felt like that was the right decision for me to make as a parent, and it was concerning my daughter's health, and I feel like that trumps everything else. So it is what it is. So in 2017, my daughter was going to Children's, and she was seeing several providers, because she has several issues, because of her Down syndrome and everything. And I also want to tell y'all something else too that kind of coincides with all of these health issues that I'm talking about concerning my child and myself, because this is going to be a video about myself too. So my daughter is supposed to be seen at the cardiologist regularly, like if not annually. She's supposed to be seen here. Like, they've had her medical records and her documents and all of her past surgeries and issues and everything. They have record of this since birth, right? So I love to keep her there because I don't want them to ever have to question anything. If you're taking her to different people over the years, then her paperwork becomes harder to keep up with. So I just feel like it was just beneficial to keep her, where she was going at birth. So it's really been hard for me, because I haven't had her and I haven't been able to take her to the doctor because of the way that my mom had things set up in the past. I was never able to go up there and correspond with them or talk to them over the phone. So after a while, just, kind of out of sight, out of mind situation, I kind of was unfamiliar with all of her providers once custody was slapped back in my lap. Once I got custody back, it was just really hard because my mother was not trying to help me, y'all, at all. She didn't help me with nothing. She didn't try to give me no phone numbers. She didn't try to let me know if Inbred had upcoming doctor's appointments. She didn't do none of that. So it was just I had to call around. I had to tell these people what happened in court. I had to tell these people, hey, my mom no longer has custody. I have custody. So they're like, oh, well, she hasn't called in and let us know. So, they're giving me an extra hard time because since she hasn't called in, then they basically believe it's not happening. So they think that I'm, just wasting their time or something, trying to just get information out of them. So then I gotta send in the court order via email and just do all this extra stuff. So I just been really stressed out, y'all. So finally I get in touch with all of her doctors, and she's been to see her audiologist, she's been to see her endocrinologist, she's been to see her sickle cell doctor. That's a future upcoming appointment, but I have scheduled that appointment for her to see her sickle cell doctor. She has been to see her cardiologist, and she has been to see the dentist, and there's really no reason for me to take her to the pediatrician now, but she has been to see her primary care physician. I have set her up with one of those since she's aged out of being at an actual pediatric office, because she was at this one pediatric office that she's been going to since birth, but because she turned 12, she aged out. And so since I've taken Inbred to all of her appointments, y'all, these providers and these doctors and everything have told me that they have not seen my baby since 2017, 2018, and 2019. The only doctor's office who see my baby in 2021 was her pediatric office, where she has aged out of and she can no longer be seen. They seen her in March. But as far as everybody else that I didn't name, y'all, my baby has not seen them since 2017, 2018, 2019. We are in 2021, and I'm trying to understand what is going on. And you know what? I know what's going on. My mother moved my baby back to our hometown in 2017 and did not take my daughter back to none of these providers. Now, I'm not trying to say she didn't take my baby to the doctor at all, because I don't know what they was doing when they was down there in Grayson County. I don't know if it's medical providers down there who may have documents on file for my daughter being seen up there or being treated up there. The principle I'm trying to make, y'all, is that my baby's from birth providers are down here in Dallas. You know, like, why would you move to Sherman and cut her off from all of these people who've been helping her since birth, who know about all of her inside body parts, her heart, her lungs, everything. They know about what's going on with my baby. They didn't gave surgery to my baby. Like, they have these type of documents on file. So it's just like, it's beyond me, y'all, why she moved my baby to Sherman. And it just really pisses me off, because we at the point, y'all, where in 2017, I guess my mother took my daughter to the cardiologist, right? And the cardiologist, they had found something and it worried them, and they wanted my daughter to wear this monitor thing. It's like this little device thing that goes over her heart or whatever, and she wears it for a certain amount of time, and the device picks up her heart rhythm and, you know, how it's working and how it's pumping, and it basically records data. And after the 48 hours is up, you basically take the device off, you put it in the box, and you ship it off to the lab. So the lab has it for about a week or whatever, and then they ship the results back to the doctor, which is cardiologist or whatever. So when the cardiologist gets it, that's when, you know, they know the results that they're looking for, and they can contact the parent, let the parent know, hey, this is what's going on. But because my mother moved and never took my daughter back to the cardiologist where she was supposed to go to get the little device thing so they would know if my daughter had this certain condition, which is almost life-threatening. I'm not going to say almost. I'm not going to downplay it, because the doctor said it is life-threatening, y'all. And life-threatening was the key word for me. That's what it was for me. They said that this condition is life-threatening, and they think that my daughter has it because I guess when my mother was taking her to the cardiologist and they was able to do tests on my daughter, they said that they kept noticing this little hole opening and closing. You know, like, it wasn't going away, but it wasn't there all the time, but it's there sometimes. And so they were just basically explaining to me, like, the way that her heart beats, you know, the way that the heart is supposed to beat. If the bottom half beats overactively, like, it can't get back up there to the left to, like, recycle, because the hole might be there. And if the hole is there while she's being overactive, that it could cause, like, a stroke or a heart attack or something like that. So when I took her on October 1st, y'all, that's what I was taking her for, because I wanted to get her back with them. I wanted, you know, because I didn't know what was going on while she was with my mama, because my mama never updated me on nothing. She never told me about nothing. So when I was taking her to these people, I was also curious as to what was going on, because, you know, my mama just didn't share shit with me. Like, our relationship was so fucking bad, y'all, to the point where we couldn't even talk about that. So, like, I'm just really glad I got my baby back, because now I can find out all these things for myself, and I can figure it out with her father on how we should proceed and do things, you know, with her doctors. So when I had took her there October 1st, they did the test and everything that they needed to do, and they said that they felt like that they seen it again. So what my whole issue is, y'all, is that my mama freaking moved my daughter to Sherman goddamn about near 4 or 5 years ago, and never took my baby to a cardiologist, never took her to nobody else, never tried to find her no pediatric cardiologist where you moved to, never moved a finger to try to bring her back to Dallas one time to get a little device that you didn't even have to come back to return. All you had to do was put it in the goddamn mailbox and mail it back and await the results so that you would know what to do moving forward. But no, she couldn't even do that. So now, y'all, 4 to 5 years later, here we are finally going back to give my daughter this dang holster that she should have had 4 years ago, to see if she has this life-threatening condition that she may have to have another heart surgery for. If she has this, y'all, they want to go in and do another surgery. They want to go in and cut my baby open and mess with her heart some more after it's already been messed with 2 times ago. So that's messing with me. That's been fucking with my psyche. Because I really, like, I'm not blaming, I want to blame my mother, but I also want to be an adult and just pick up the pieces and fix it and fix the situation. I don't know what my baby done been through while she been away from me. I don't know what's been going on. My mama ain't updated me on anything. Not her schooling, not her doctors, not nothing. It's always been about some fucking money. It's always been about what I'm not doing for her. It's always been about who her daddy is. It's always been about irrelevant ass motherfucking shit. Irrelevant shit that don't got nothing to do with my daughter's motherfucking health. And to be honest, y'all, that's why I haven't been making no videos, because my shit, I can't fucking think. I can't think about nobody else's business. I can't think about no entertainment channel. I can't think about satisfying nobody else. I can't think about nothing. I can't think about nothing except for my baby, except for praying that she don't have this condition, except for praying that she don't have to go through this again, except for praying that she gonna be all right. I don't have time to think about nothing else. And my feelings is really just hurt because I thought that if I left my baby with my mama, that she would do what she was supposed to do and help me. And instead, she took advantage of me and she took my baby from me. And she neglected her while she was with her. And that hurts my feelings. If anything else hurts my feelings, that hurts my feelings because it just gives me all these what ifs. Like, what if I would have did this? Or what if I would have chose not to do this? And another thing that's messed up, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, is I also made a video. These are for my day ones. For people who are new, y'all are not gonna understand, I'm sorry. But for my day ones, y'all are gonna know. So I made a video early on in my channel where I was explaining to y'all that I was a product of incest and that my mother and my father were cousins. Now, I said in the video that they were fifth cousins, but since then, I've learned new information. They may even be third cousins. Look, it ain't none of my business. I just feel like I needed to know for my own record keeping purposes, you know, because I'll be going to the doctor and the doctor is always asking me about my prior family health history, and I don't never know what to tell him because my mama never shared that information with me, and nobody in my family ever shared any family health history information with me. And I really never knew why. So one day, one of my older cousins came and broke it down to me, y'all, and explained to me that my mother and my father was cousins and that they basically came from the same... I can't explain it. It's hard if I don't write it down because it's hard to explain. But my great-grandmother is my great-grandmother. Like, I don't have two separate great-grandmothers. Like, my great-grandmother on both sides is the same. So, yeah, so I'm a product of incest, y'all, right? So when I was born, I don't know nothing about me being born except for I came out with my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck and I was a breech baby and I had to be pushed back in. My mother was given an emergency C-section to get me out. That's really all I know. So fast forward to me having my second child, I had to get a chromosome blood test thing because my first daughter was Down syndrome. And the doctors and stuff really didn't know why she was like that, because they didn't have no health history on me from my family and stuff like that. So they was like, we really don't know why, you know, but it's like so many babies born with Down syndrome a year, and it's not, you know, it's not uncommon. And then they were like, you know, because of her health complications at birth, they didn't think that she would live past 2 years old, and it was just like a whole bunch of shit. And my mama, like she was there when my first daughter was born or whatever, and she was like all hysterical in the hospital, y'all, and I really didn't know why at the time. I thought that it was because my daughter was sick and maybe she was just really upset at that, but y'all, it was because she knew that her and my daddy was cousins, and she knew that whatever retardation or deformity that skipped me at birth had hit my daughter, y'all, and that's why she was really distraught in the hospital. But I didn't know that then, but I know that now. When you're young, like, you impressionable and you gullible and stuff, and you really don't know life yet, but once you grow older and you start finding out things, then it's just like a whole bunch of stuff from your past will click. It will just make so much sense. So fast forward to me having my second child, you know, because I didn't have a chromosome check with my first child or whatever, I had to have one my second child because they wanted to know if she was gonna like come out like my first child or whatever like that. But at this point in time, y'all, we still don't even know why I had a disabled child. You know, we still not knowing that my mother and my father are cousins and shit, and I'm a product of incest, and that the deformity skipped me a little bit and moved on to my child. So we went to go get this chromosome check, and they basically take your blood or whatever, and they do tests on it to see certain things that they can't see from the outside of your body. They were basically letting me know, like, hey, your daughter doesn't have Down syndrome, but we noticed that you have this condition, you know, that you have this disorder, basically. Like, well, what disorder is you talking about? Because I ain't never, you know, I've always gone to the doctor. Like, I stay in the emergency room. Like, I stay in the hospital for anything. If I feel like anything is slightly wrong with my body in any shape, way, form, or fashion, I'm going to the emergency room, because ain't nobody got time for that. So when he had told me that you really can only find out about certain stuff, like what he was going to tell me was through when they take your blood and everything. But I'm like, okay, but they take my blood all the time when I go in there. But he was like, but you have to order the specific test in order to know if you have this specific, you know, the specific disorder. So because he was ordering the specific test, that's how he was able to know that I had this specific disorder wrong with me, y'all. So what I have wrong with me is this thing called triple X syndrome. Now, y'all welcome to pause this video and go look up triple X syndrome and read about what it is. Now, I'm going to try to give y'all a summary, but I'm not really sure if I can explain it. But from what Google told me every time that I Googled it, y'all, because I had never heard of this before they told me that I had it, but they were basically like, it happens to every 1 in 1,000 women, and it causes learning disabilities, and it causes women to be over average in height. And so I do have learning disabilities. I was in special ed in high school. I've been in special ed from 5th grade all the way up until graduation. And they tried to offer me some program to like go to called DARS or something, Disability Assistive Rehabilitation Services or something like that. I guess they help you find work and help you get your apartment, and I guess they'll help you get a check or something like that. But like when the lady came and approached me at the school, and the way that she explained it to me just made me feel stupid as fuck. And I had turned down the services, y'all, because I don't know, she made me feel like I was retarded or something, and that's why I needed the services. But later on, I found out that I really needed to accept the services because it was a type of program that was really going to teach you life skills and teach you how to be self-sufficient and everything, because my mother was not teaching me those things. And y'all remember in a previous video, I told y'all that my brother had got removed from my mother's care and placed in this boy's home so that he could receive self-sufficiency skills and life living skills and everything, because he didn't really know how to like fend for himself and shit. Like, yeah, that's how bad it was in my childhood, y'all. Like, yeah, that's what I have, y'all. And what's crazy is I've had a genetics doctor tell me that they've never heard of that. Like in all of the years that they've been like being a genetics doctor, they've never seen a case where the mother had triple X syndrome and the child of the mother had trisomy 21, because another term for triple X syndrome is trisomy X syndrome. Then you know, they call Down syndrome trisomy 21. So he was like, I've never seen a case where the mother had trisomy X and the daughter had trisomy 21, but I basically have an extra X chromosome. So instead of being like the regular 46XY, I have like 47XXX. And then my daughter has an extra chromosome too, you know, which gives her Down syndrome. When I was pregnant with my second child and I went and I got the chromosome check or whatever like that, when I had my child, like 3 months later, I had got really sick and I went to the hospital, and they thought that it was like kidney failure, and they thought that they misdiagnosed me for kidney failure. Then they came in there and they said, no, it's pancreatitis. Then they was like, no, it's acute pancreatitis. And then I guess once the final test came back, they were like, no, it's chronic pancreatitis. They had referred me to a gastroenterologist, and the gastroenterologist had me on all this medication, y'all. Like, I was getting like 3 or 4 different pills I had to take a day, and then they had me on pain medication. I was getting like hydrocodone 10s, and I was getting like a 60-day supply, y'all. At one time they was giving them to me because this is how bad the pain was, and it was really, really bad. And they told me that it was like, as long as I like take care of myself and eat good, that I won't like flare up. and when I flare up, like, it's gonna hurt really bad. So that's why they gave me the hydrocodone. Since then, y'all, I stopped going because they told me that if I don't take care of myself, that my condition could possibly turn into pancreatic cancer, y'all. And they was like that there's no cure for pancreatic cancer. And once you get diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, you have like 6 to 12 months to live. And that really fucked me up. That fucked me up so bad, y'all. I stopped going to them. And I don't know, you know, some of y'all probably gonna be like, that was a mistake, you shouldn't have did that. Like, but put yourself in my shoes. If somebody fucking told y'all was gonna die, or y'all had the potential to die, or something was gonna happen to you and cut off your lifespan, what would you do? You wouldn't want to go either. You wouldn't want to go back to that person after you've been living for so long, and you've been living a certain way for so long, and you think that you good and you healthy, and then you just have someone come out the woodworks like, oh, you may die. So yeah, all in all, y'all, that is why I am stressed out, because not only do I have to worry about my daughter, but I have to worry about myself, and then I have to worry about 2 other little human beings. And it's just a lot on my shoulders. I really just don't really know how to cope. Sometimes it helps me to upload videos on my entertainment channel. Sometimes it helps me to upload videos here. Sometimes it helps me to just be quiet. Like, but I'm really dealing with like some real life shit over here. And I don't know. I don't really know what's gonna happen. But I'm praying for the best. I'm not saying that I'm quitting YouTube. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just really stressed out. It's like a girlfriend, a wife, a mom, myself, as everything. I'm just really stressed out. And yeah, I let my therapist I told you I was going to, like, I lapsed out of treatment because I stopped going because I had so much other stuff to focus on, such as like the court battle and everything like that. Like, I haven't been going in a while, but I needed to like go back to them and like get things started back up, because I guess I've just come to the realization that you can't always just keep saying it's one thing when it's really not that. Because people be asking me like what be wrong with me, and it just be hard for me to tell them like, bro, I'm scared I'm gonna die. Like, that's like the hardest thing for me. And it's much easier to just sit here in my room and talk to my computer, you know, with no judgment, and be able to like upload it and just let it be what it is. Just knowing that I talked about it and I got it off my chest, and now y'all know. And I don't know. I think the hardest thing is living day to day, not knowing like what's gonna happen. And I'm not trying to say like I live in fear or anything. I don't. I still live my life. I do what I can do. But it's always in the back of my mind. It's always back there. And it just fucks with me. And just to know like my daughter has to go through all these extra complications too. Like, I wish I could take all her pain away. I wish it would be me having to go there, and, you know, me having the condition and not her. Because I just don't think that's fair. She's a soldier though. She a stepper. She been that way since birth. She's always been so strong. But I want to be strong for her. I don't want her to have to be strong. You know? Like, she should just be able to be a kid and not have to go to all these doctor's appointments and see all these people who want to poke and prod on her. And I don't know. So, yeah. That's why I really haven't been on the internet, and it's really been hard for me to like upload, because I just haven't been able to like get my thoughts together and stuff. You know, I just wanted to tell y'all that because it's been a minute since I uploaded over here anyway. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in with me on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
So long, sleeping from sofa to sofa. Now I'ma step on these little bitty bitches in some brand new Gucci loafers. Gucci walking. I got tired of eating Big Mama's chicken. Has business when I walk out.